Are you a cat whisperer? Do you have a way with these mysterious animals? Some people just have the magic touch when it comes to communicating with our kitties. They instinctively seem to know how to get cats to trust them. It's like they've got some kind of superpower. But how do you tell if you truly too have this strange ability? In this video, we're going to be looking at 15 signs that you can look out for, which will tell you for certain that you are a cat whisperer. But before we dive in, why not subscribe and join our feline-loving community for more tips and tricks to help you care for your cat? Sign number 1. Countless cat parents every year fall into the dreaded tummy trap. You see your fur baby lying on their back, exposing that adorably fluffy tummy, and you just can't resist the urge to lean over and start stroking it. For most people, the next thing they know, they're getting unexpectedly clawed. Many victims of this assume that the whole thing must be some kind of deliberate setup on the cat's part, designed to lure the poor human in with a false sense of security, only to pounce the moment their guard is down. In reality, however, from the cat's perspective, the person touching them is the one who's in the wrong, and their own behavior is completely reasonable. A cat's belly is the most vulnerable part of their body, since it shields their vulnerable vital organs. To a cat, exposing their belly is a sign of extreme trust. They're saying, "I love you enough to be vulnerable around you." Their human immediately deciding to try touching them there, for most cats, is a pretty big betrayal after this major show of trust. So what does it mean then when your fur baby does let you touch their tummy? Well, a cat will generally only let a human touch their belly if they have an extremely close bond with them. If your cat lets you do this, then it's a sign that you are a true cat whisperer. Sign number 2. We all love meeting a strange cat when we're out and about. You're just walking around, going about your daily business, when suddenly, free kitty cuddles. Who doesn't enjoy that? For some people, however, this is a more common experience than it is for others. If you have a tendency to happen upon strange cats wherever you go and find them unusually friendly towards you, then you might be a cat whisperer. Your feline magnetism is a sign that you have a special quality that lets cats know instinctively that they can trust you. Maybe it's your scent, maybe it's your skill at finding the exact right place to scratch them behind the ears, maybe it's news of your kindness to kitties passing along some kind of feline grapevine. Whatever it is, enjoy it. Not everyone is lucky enough to have this skill. Sign number 3. After you've been approached by a strange cat, what happens next? You might just get a few seconds to pet them on the head before they dart off again down the street. Or you might be lucky, and the cat might try rubbing against your legs for a bit, giving you the chance to have a proper pet before they move away again. If you're a true cat whisperer, however, you might get a more major honor. The cat may actually allow you to pick them up. This is a great sign of trust from an unfamiliar cat. They don't know who you are and have no idea about your personality, but they somehow understand from the first moment they see you that you are somebody who they can have absolute faith in. Being picked up puts them in an even more vulnerable position than lying on their back does. They are completely within your power. If an unfamiliar cat lets you pick them up, then you know that you are a true cat whisperer. Sign number 4. Shh. One of the most precious moments that a person can have with a cat is that moment when you manage to persuade them to lean over and eat directly from your hand. Usually, cats aren't that keen on eating food from a human's hand. Even if they love and trust that human and know that they would never hurt them, cats are very fond of their personal space and generally consider actually eating from a human's hand a bit too far, especially given that putting their mouths close to the human's hand means putting their whiskers next to it as well, which, given the shape of the average human hand, increases the risk of said whiskers coming into contact with human fingers and thumbs. This is generally pretty uncomfortable for the cat because whiskers are very sensitive. A cat who loves their human or is feeling very confident might be persuaded to lick some crumbs off their human's fingers. But taking a treat directly from the hand is something that will only happen if you're truly connected with the cat in question on a spiritual level. Only true cat whisperers will manage it. Sign number 5. Everyone knows that cats aren't easy to train. With time and effort, you can get them to come when called, or potentially show some understanding of the word no. Not that understanding what it means will necessarily get them to stop doing whatever it is, but you can't get them to sit, speak, or roll over on command the way that you would with a dog. Or can you? Yes, you're unlikely to get your kitty to do whatever you ask whenever you ask, but that doesn't mean that you can't teach them to do some tricks. It just takes a very clever cat and a very strong bond between cat and human. If you ever want an easy way to show off your cat whispering abilities, try having a go at teaching your cat to sit or play fetch. If you succeed, your friends will never again doubt your magic touch with our feline friends. Sign number 6. One of the biggest barriers between humans and cats is that no matter how much we may feel like we're on the same wavelength, our feline friends cannot talk to us in human language to let us know exactly what they want. But that doesn't mean that they can't necessarily communicate with us vocally. It just means that we'll have some trouble understanding. Many cats will use different meows with slight variations in tone, speed and pitch to ask for or complain about different things. Most humans won't be able to tell the difference between these different meows, but if you are a true cat whisperer, then you might find that you pick up on them fairly quickly. After living with a cat for a few months, you might even discover that you don't have to stop and think about what the meows mean anymore. Just like how when you hear somebody say, "Please pass the salt," you don't have to stop and process exactly what that sequence of sounds means. When you hear one of your cat's meows, you just instantly process that they're asking you to open the door or give them more food. Your friends might start accusing you of being able to understand cat language. Sign number 7. Sometimes being a cat whisperer can come with some downsides, or possibly an upside if your taste in fashion tends towards cat hair. Yep, that's right. If you're a true cat whisperer, then you're likely to end up covered in fur, especially below your knees. This is because, when cats like someone, their favorite way to show it is to mark them with their scent. They do this by rubbing their head against the person's body, allowing them to release a pheromone scent from special glands in their cheeks. A scent that is unnoticeable to humans. You may be relieved to hear, but that signals to any nearby kitties that this human is mine. If you're somebody whose company cats really enjoy, however, then you might find yourself being claimed as the property of more than one furry friend. Multiple cats rubbing against you may be adorable, but it also means a lot of multicolored cat hair on your pant legs at the end of the day. Sign number 8. You know what a meow sounds like and what a purr sounds like, but what do you call a hybrid of the two? Sometimes affectionately referred to as a cat activation noise. This is the short vibrating sound that a cat makes when they see somebody they really love. You might find it reminds you of a creaking door. This is called a trill, and it's actually got a fairly interesting origin. As you might expect from a noise that sounds so much a purr, this sound means that your kitty is very happy to see you. Specifically, it's the noise that mama cats make when greeting their babies. When your kitty makes this noise around you, therefore, they're letting you know that they love you as much as their mama cat loved them. What could be a better sign of feline affection? Sign number 9. Cats are very skittish creatures, having evolved in a world where they had a lot to be skittish about. Big cats like leopards and lions, large constricting snakes, and even giant eagles looking to swoop down and carry them off. These are only some of the threats that the wild ancestors of our fur babies would have encountered on a daily basis. The time that they were the most vulnerable to these attacks, when they were asleep. A sleeping cat would be unable to see anything that might be sneaking up on them until it was potentially too late, and even if they did wake up in time, might be too groggy to run away. As a result, a lot of cats feel an instinctive desire to hide themselves, either underneath something or up high out of reach when they start feeling sleepy. Cats who sleep next to their humans, therefore, are cats who are showing those humans an extremely high level of trust. They're not just saying that they trust us not to attack them, but that they trust us to protect them from anything else that might be coming to try and gobble them up. This is especially true for cats who choose to sleep on their backs or sides with their tummies on display. As we said earlier, cats are incredibly vulnerable when they show their tummies, even when they're awake. Showing them while they're asleep is an even greater sign of trust, and something that only true cat whisperers will likely experience. Sign number 10. What's that? It's a gift. From your cat. Alright, don't get too excited. It's not gift wrapped, and it's not anything that you're likely to have on your Amazon wish list. It's not a new phone or a box of fancy chocolates or even a gift card. It's a dead mouse or a partially plucked bird. Or, if you're lucky, one of your socks or one of your cat's toys that your fur baby has valiantly slain and laid out on the carpet for your approval. Yes, we know, it's not exactly what you wanted, but that doesn't mean that you should ignore the thoughtfulness behind it. That's what counts, after all, right? When your cat brings you a gift, that's their way of showing you that they consider themselves to be a part of your social group and a member of your family. Feral cats, who don't have owners to look after them, will often form groups or colonies around a shared source of food or shelter and will regularly bring each other food, especially if one of them is injured or nursing babies. Your kitty knows you're not injured, but they've probably noticed your worrying inability to catch mice for yourself, unless all that standing on a chair and screaming is some kind of long-con intimidation tactic, and want to make sure that you're eating. All cats know that a good cat whisperer is worth their weight in gold, and so they want to keep you healthy. Sign number 11. Do your fingers taste unusually good today? Should you consider moving your hands away from their mouth before you end up never again being able to count to 10 without using your toes? No, don't worry. Your kitty isn't putting their mouth on your fingers and trying to bite them because they actually want to eat you. They're just suckling. This is more likely to happen with very young cats or cats who were removed from their mothers at a pretty young age, meaning that they didn't have time to be fully weaned. Suckling on your fingers is your cat's way of letting you know that they think of you as being like their mother. As a proper cat whisperer, this means that you've managed to gain their full love and trust to the extent that they've begun to see you as a parental figure. Sign number 12. Another equally painful sign that your cat sees you as a parental figure is kneading. Also known as making biscuits, kneading is the name for those rhythmic, pressing motions that a cat makes with their paws, sometimes against you, potentially painfully if they forget to put their claws in. When your cat was a kitten, they would have done this to their mother, kneading her belly to help promote milk production at dinner time. Just like with the suckling, this doesn't mean that your cat is expecting you to feed them, just that they see you as being like their mama. It's a sign of a true cat whisperer, having a cat view you as having equal importance in their life to the importance that their mother had when they were a baby. It shows that you have gained your cat's ultimate trust. Sign number 13. How well can you tell how your cat is feeling? One of the best ways to check is often by looking at their tail. Do you know all the different cat tail positions and what they mean? Let's have a quick refresh. A cat with their tail raised high in the air like a flagpole means that the cat is happy. A cat who has their tail curved, kind of like a question mark, is engaged and ready to play. If the tail is held at half-mast, level with the cat's body, then it means that they are relaxed and content. If it's low down and tucked beneath their body, it means that the cat is sad or scared. And what about tail movement? A cat whose tail is twitching at the very end is saying, "I'm starting to get a bit annoyed," while a cat whose tail lashing back and forth is saying, "I'm really annoyed, back off." If you already knew all those examples of tail talk, then you're a true expert in kitty communication, concatulations. Sign number 14. When you visit a friend's house, do they ever seem surprised by how their cat behaves around you? Perhaps slightly shocked that you were even able to stroke them without getting torn horrifically to shreds within the first few seconds? Some cats have a reputation for being a bit touchy, and in extreme cases, their humans might feel the need to warn other humans about them before they come round to visit. But you? You might find that these cats warm up to you faster than they do to other people. Sometimes the reason that a cat tends to be a bit scratchy and bitey is because they feel the need to defend their personal space. Most cats are very keen on making sure that their bodily autonomy is respected, and if humans keep trying to touch them unexpectedly, then they may feel the need to try and fight back. If you're a cat whisperer, on the other hand, then you will know how to act around cats. Being quiet, calm, and waiting for them to come to you is the best way to ensure that a cat will respond well to your presence. Before you know it, everyone will be calling you in to help handle their poorly behaved pussycats. Sign number 15. Sometimes what makes someone a cat whisperer isn't something that you can quantify. It's just there. Some people seem to have a sixth sense around our feline friends, an ability to communicate with cats without even trying. If you find that you can get cats to do what you want them to do, and that you somehow know what cats want you to do without knowing why, then that's a rare gift. There are many things your cat wants you to do, but what will happen if you indulge all of them? Check out this video to find out the 9 signs that your cat is actually spoiled.